Hey guys, and welcome to the new season of Married at First Sight. You ain't got the minerals, baby. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. The new Adidas Rude Boy, you're mad! Video, let's get in a video.
I am here to find the love of my life, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
And when you find it, just like Adam said, listen, this is the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh, and I shall call her woman. Do you understand? Out of man. So listen, before we start this Married at First Sight journey, again, if you're new, welcome to the review section. For those of us who are attorneys, you already know what to do. Make sure you comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. There's always going to be questions in the comment section for you guys to interact with.
After completing psychological testing, background checks, and initial interviews.
So, first of all, I want to say this. Thank God they're doing some checks, okay? Because last season, if you were around, you know the thing that the issue that we had was with with Lukey boy, because apparently my man was gay, yeah, and I didn't ever saw it coming, bruv. And a lot of you saw it before I did. Again, well done for that. So I never saw this section. So first question I'm going to put down in the comment section is, what do you think about the couples that they have matched? Do you think they're a good match, or do you think they're not a good match? Let me know. But yeah, I mean, it's good at doing checks. It's very, very important. I think in this day and age, there are 101 crazy people out there who are willing to do anything to do anything. Do you get me?
Ask deeply personal questions. First topic is sex. So when it comes to sex, how do you feel about it? Oh my God, it's been so long.
I'm a pleaser.
So I'm glad they're doing the checks. The first thing I want to talk about is obviously they mentioned about sex and some things around it. And I want to say this, look, relationships are important, and so is sex, okay? Not in terms of a relationship, but in terms of a marriage. So those of you who know I'm a Christian, so I will talk about it. I think a lot of times in our generation especially, we use sex as an indication of how good a relationship is, rather than actually trying to find out who this person is right in front of you. See, the Bible talks about sex being a knowing of somebody. So sex creates this impression of getting to know somebody on a certain level and plane. Hence why a lot of you, including myself, feel hurt and down and cast aside when we give our bodies away to somebody and then they go cold on us. Why? Because you've allowed that person to know you in a certain fashion. They've intimately entered your space, spiritually and physically, and they've rejected you on that plane. It's very painful. They've rejected you. So, sex is a very important topic, and I feel like, especially in Christendom, we don't talk about sex a lot. We don't like to, right? We like to try and keep it as a taboo. But I think even if you're single couples, like getting together, I think when you get to, especially when you get to, I think when you get to the stage of you've spoken to the pastor, if you want to call it that, and you guys are doing your counselling, I really think that is an important time to now bring up topics about sex and actually say, listen, have you guys spoken about positions? What you like, what you don't like, what you know, what you don't know, yeah? What's your thing? Because, these are the great areas that cause trouble. And someone might say, well, you should wait for your marriage. Why wait till you're at the marriage step and dealing with something which can be dealt with by having conversation? Sex as a topic, talking about it, doesn't necessarily induce you to have sex. What induces you to have sex is because you're lustful. Simple.
Maintain it for a long time?
Yeah.
Okay. I think about sex at least once a day. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I do. So when it comes to kink, would you say that you're open to something that's more like French vanilla, or are you going like Rocky Road, or what's happening there?
As long as I'm not bringing in a bunch of extra items or tools. My name is Raven. I'm 28 years old, and I'm an operations manager for an IT services company.
Lads, not because you're having a discussion around it. Let's not be scared of sex. Sex is beautiful. God created it, therefore it's meant to be involved in relationships which are about commitment. Marriage, lovely. But I feel like you should have that conversation. Maybe me personally, I'm an open person. I think because I've already had sex, I definitely understand that, maybe me personally, if I know I'm going to be in a long-term relationship with somebody before getting married, I think I would have that discussion, before I even get to the counselling part, because I believe that's a discussion that if two mature adults are getting into, but we should discuss this in this day and age, seen as how we are. Do you get what I'm saying? But that's my personal conviction. Doesn't have to be yours. I don't want none of you to call your pastor. Now, back onto the next thing. We got introduced into Iris. In fact,
Ever. My name is Iris Caldwell. I am 27 years old, and I'm a virgin. I have saved my virginity.
27-year-old virgin. Now, for me, you know what, man, then when we used to be younger, yeah, we used to say something like, "Oh, you know what, fam, like we want a girl that's a virgin." Da, da, da. You get older, and I mean, like not that much older. Like you get to like 17, 18, and you start realizing, I don't want a virgin. No, because I know what it takes. I know how it drags out certain feelings out of you. I know how it can actually change the way you think and feel. Do you get me? So it's interesting that someone like Iris has gone on the show who's a virgin. I think, you know what, fam, like from that to being in commitment 100%, you know, in this day and age, it's tough, man, because a lot of us are coming from a background where we've had sex and we have expectations and we have comparisons, and she won't have that, which will make her a clean slate for somebody. But how does that work for the other person? You know what I'm saying? As well as, especially saying that as well, being a virgin also carries its weight in naivety. This is not to say that people are necessarily who are virgins are naive, but there is an aspect of a relationship where you've never experienced.
I have saved my virginity for marriage because I'm a very religious person. A lot of guys have just not wanted to deal with it. It's not been something they want to be able to do or commit to. So for me, it is very important that my spouse is patient, because your relationship shouldn't be built off of sex. It should be built off of the connection that you have with that person, that mental connection. I mean, I have a lot of things going on in my life. It's not just my virginity.
And don't know how that affects you. So for me, just seeing Iris as this virgin, it's not always, you know, for me heralded as this great thing, because I believe, like, you know what, I appreciate the fact that she said obviously she, you know, it's a big thing for her, she wants to keep it, you know, it's a special thing for her, and I get that, and I think that's true, and I believe that 100%, and that goes the same with what my God is saying about sex and keeping it sacred. I just think that obviously in this day and age, when you're dating somebody who's not of that same caliber, it can be difficult because we're coming from a different world.
Connection. I mean, I have a lot of things going on in my life. It's not just my virginity. I work with Big Brothers Big Sisters, helping high schoolers start focusing on their
different nature of this. I'm going to talk about this in another video, actually, talking about sex. This is going to be a big one. The truthfulness of sex is that, look, a lot of us, have been stolen. A lot of us, and when I say a lot of us, I mean women especially, have been stolen from. Meaning that a man has lied advantageously for himself to actually get sex from the woman. And once a woman encounters a man who's willing to lie, to deceive, to do everything he can in order to get sex from her, it creates this negative impact of what sex really is. Sex really should be the tying between two couples that allows an intimacy to grow between them that no one else can actually get into. Because it's an act that only two people are doing that no one else should be doing with your partner. Do you get it? So you have to deep it that, okay, your partner could talk to somebody else, your partner could confess to somebody else, your partner could worship, pray, study the word of God, could do hobbies, like go out, dance, play football, whatever, share qualities and core values. But the one thing they should never be doing with somebody else is sexing. So understand that unity that is brought by sex, that it's a loving act. Do you get me? It's a shard of love. So when people are misusing it, as an aspect, and this is what we're saying, we're talking about marriage at first sight. When people are misusing it, what you get is this aspect of that you have this negative image of what sex is. Okay, I've got to take what I can. Okay, I need to get mine. If he's not going down there and giving me pleasure, then I ain't about it. And there's nothing wrong with that. What I'm saying is that women do it, men now do it, which is now, there's an equal playing field now of, I must get what I must get from the sex. And it's no longer about the love. It's no longer about the unity. It's about getting what you need to get out of the sex. But hey, that's no thing.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Calvin Roberson. I'm a pastor and a relationship expert. On Married at First Sight, I use my expertise to help couples develop the tools, not only to make themselves better and discover their spirituality, but to also find out how they can have a successful relationship. Tell me a little bit about your spiritual background and your journey.
I enjoy going to church and...
The huge thing, we have Pastor, I don't know, I forgot his name, Pastor. Again, I hope that he's on the ball this year, and I hope he's going to, put the iron grid down, because I don't want to see another Luke situation again. It's interesting, obviously, the fact that they asked a faith-based question, you see different range of answers. And what I would say is, especially if you're a Christian, my friend, please, listen, you can't be married to someone who's not a Christian. It doesn't even make sense, because you've got two different value cores. Now, do you know what I mean? A person can be a good person, but they don't believe in your God. Already you've got a problem. They don't believe in what you believe in. You've got a problem.
About your spiritual background in your journey?
I enjoy going to church, and I would like to be with someone who does the same thing.
What if she wants to go to church every week?
Depends if it's football season or not.
Okay.
I don't identify with one religion, but I'm all religions.
What about atheism?
That's gonna be hard for my mother.
Religiously, what is that you don't want?
Someone who is not a follower or believer of Jesus Christ.
That eliminates a Jew, Islam, Buddhism,
Yes.
Mormons who believe in Jesus.
Probably not more.
So it's interesting to see the different answers that came about. Some people are believers, some people are not, some people are just religious, some people go to church, some people have a belief because their parents have a belief. All sorts of different types of thoughts and feelings came out from different people, and it's really interesting. So again, it just puts an idea across again as compatibility. Are you getting to it? And I hear this many times. Oh, I can date someone of a different faith, and I'm like looking at them like, yo, then probably your faith is really not radical. Your faith is really not the center of your life. You're probably religious, and religious people can date anybody because they live by a core set of principles which everybody will potentially live by, regardless of what faith you are. Treat everybody like you'd like to be treated yourself. Love everybody. Respect your elders. All that kind of stuff. Everybody does. Do you get what I'm saying? Therefore, you can marry anybody. But when it comes to your God and worshipping your God, completely different conversation. So it was good to see, obviously, some people like Greg especially were, just letting it straight down. I want somebody who loves Jesus. Amen. Glory to God. Just talking about Greg as well. Greg obviously, Pastor was saying obviously that his list is shorter because he mentioned exactly what he wanted. And I think, as human beings, sometimes we are scared to really mention what we really want. Taking the faith thing aside, I think, and then we'll talk about it later on because we'll talk about red flags and stuff. We are sometimes afraid to actually, this is what I want and I want it, without it looking picky. And I feel like sometimes we do compromise on certain things that we don't really want to compromise on, and sometimes it's not necessary. A lot of times you've got to stand your ground and just be strong in terms of what you believe in. Do you know what I'm saying? Not just even faith, but in general, your ethos, your life, the way you live life, etc., etc. There's certain things you just have to hold on to. Do you know what I'm saying? And not compromise. And there's other things you got to let go.
I was engaged. I thought that was going to be something forever, but God had different plans, and it didn't work out. I've been single for about 2 years now, and I am ready to get married. I'm ready to love again. Dating Charlotte hasn't been successful, and then it's hard to do online dating.
So I really appreciate Greg for that, the fact that he mentioned that. He didn't want to be unyoked. And obviously he mentioned something that he was previously engaged, which I think is an interesting thing. I believe that obviously someone being engaged previously will definitely open your mind up to a different way of thinking. I think because you were preparing yourself for marriage, and then obviously now you were engaged and then you've let it go. I think always that fear will always be there. Like, can I make it to the end? What if that girl does the exact same thing as that other girl does? You know what I'm saying? Or do you know what I mean? Like, it must create this fear within you. But Greg seemed pretty cool, and pretty calm, and I really liked his demeanor. I think he had a really nice flow about him. So to be honest, I was happy with him. Do you know what I'm saying?
At this point, I'm willing to take anything.
I wouldn't like to be married to somebody who looks like me.
You mean bearded?
No, not bearded. Sorry, lighter complexion and so forth.
I just always kind of envision myself of marrying a black man and having chocolatey babies.
I would prefer someone who has a similar background to myself.
Someone black?
Yes.
Okay. Just cut through it.
That's real.
Who do you want to marry?
I see someone who carries himself with a
I think they mentioned about marrying somebody with different complexion. That was interesting as well. I feel like the white people struggled to actually say that they wanted to date somebody white. Nothing wrong with that. It's a preference. I got no problems when a white person says, I want to only date white people. I'm like, yeah, because I'm a black person. I don't want to date black people. Bro, like, do your thing. Enjoy your stuff. I'm not gonna say anything. But the white people kind of struggled to say it. Do you get what I'm saying? I understand. Do you know what I'm saying? If you look at the couples, they put black people with black people and put white people with white people. Simple as. Yeah, because fam, at the end of the day, most of us want to date somebody who looks like us because we want someone to identify with us, to be relatable with us. That's the whole point of relationships. When Adam saw Eve, yeah, he said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Now, it wasn't colour, but what he saw was somebody who was like him, because previously he had seen animals, and now he saw himself. He saw someone who was him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know why, but I always imagine Eve as a redhead. Is that just me? It might just be me.
Mary.
I see someone who carries himself with a swag, and that really just means confidence.
Okay.
It's more about personality for me, who I want to marry, than like looks. My name is Amber. I'm 27, and I teach 8th grade English. I am I'm single for a multitude of reasons.
27. You know, she stated she doesn't wear makeup. You know, she's quite unassuming. I feel like with Amber, like the first thought that came to my head was that this girl doesn't dress to be sexy, doesn't dress to be attractive, doesn't dress to draw somebody in. It's quite, like I said, unassuming.
I'm single for a multitude of reasons. Where should I start? I don't know how to meet guys. One, I don't wear makeup. I don't wear glitzy, glamorous stuff. When I was a kid, I was definitely a tomboy, mostly because my dad raised me.
Quite almost lazy. Like, I don't want to say lazy in that bad way, but almost like, you know what, I don't really care about my appearance. And you know what, oftentimes I think when it comes to, especially when it comes to being single, there has to be something that's going to draw me in. Do you know what I'm saying? And guys, you know, like guys move by eyes, so what we see in it. So like when the girls wear a banging dress, what happens? Man, then we turn our head and go, whoa. Do you know what I'm saying? Now I'm not saying ladies, you got to dress in a sexual manner. What I'm saying to you is, make some effort. Like, you saw what she's wearing, right? An orange-ass cardigan, loose-fitting. Who want that? You know what I'm saying? Got a dress was black and white, but who want that? It's not thrilling. It's not exciting. It's not enticing me. It's not getting me to think, wow, like, who's this girl, bruv?
Because my dad raised me. My parents are divorced. They're not together because when I was 7, my mom fell in love with another woman. Their divorce affected me.
She's moving kind of nice in this place, bruv. What always make me think is, okay, look, there's a mom there, cool. On to the next one. Because you're not giving us any impetus, like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to even lose the glasses. Man, make the hair a little kinky, make it curly a little bit. Do something different. The hair looks a bit greasy, no beef. I'm just saying, like, these are little tonalities that potentially could make somebody want to be drawn to you. Do you get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, really. I'm not cussing her. And I feel like her confidence is also not there. I think that's what really is the biggest thing that, you know, I don't know if that's well, she just mentioned her parents, you know, had split up and been divorced and she never wanted to experience that. I feel like obviously that confidence that you'd normally see in somebody that makes you want to be, woo, like who's got that fire? Someone's coming with that energy. That confidence, you know, is not in her, and that is sometimes unattractive. So I hope that she's not a person that feels sorry for herself, down on herself, blah, blah, blah. Like, I hope she's able to just, you know what, boom, like, this is me, I'm here, like it, lump it.
Their divorce affected me in the way that I struggle with people who are cold or distant, and I immediately associate that with rejection. And so seeing my parents divorce makes me never want that to happen to my family. When I commit to someone, I give them my all, and I have...
Leave it. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm looking good. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, fam. And obviously she mentioned she was a bit of a tomboy when she was raised by her dad because her mum, you know, left the dad for another woman. I don't know what it does to the psyche. I don't know what that does to the mind. I don't know what you're thinking at the time, but that must be mad though. That must be mad for you as an individual. Like, you must be thinking to yourself, like, how do I qualify this in my head that my mum left my dad for another mum? You know what I'm saying? And actually, what does that do for her psyche in terms of, like, how she deals with men? Do you get what I'm saying? Does she have a fear of people leaving, maybe, potentially? You never know. Like, I don't know.
Their divorce affected me in the way that I struggle with people who are cold or distant, and I immediately...
But we'll get into that, you know, later on in the shows and stuff. You know, she just needs a gentle soul. I know she mentioned about, you know, people who are often you know, cold and distant. She feels like they reject her and she doesn't like to entertain those people. Me too, I kind of feel that way as well. Cold and distant people are really not my kind of thing. Like, I mean, when a girl's cold and distant, my first thought is, you know, I want to be Captain Save-A-Ho. Sorry, I shouldn't say Save-A-Ho. Captain Superman, I should say. Captain Save the Person. Like, do you know what I mean? I want to be that person that is a superhero to them by trying to unlock them. Nah, gee, listen, leave them. Like, cold, distant people, fam, will end up messing your life up, man. Let God deal with them. Pray for them from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Ain't my job to fool you out, man. If I try to fool you out, you're going to create problems, man. Do you know what I'm saying? You're going to create problems. That's what I'm saying. You get me?
When was your last relationship?
Almost 2 years ago,
We just changed. I was more focused on my career. She wanted to go out and have fun, and just drifted apart.
I dated a guy that had monkeys. That should have been a red flag.
What do you mean he had monkeys?
He had 2 monkeys.
They mentioned obviously about previous history of dating. I thought it was quite interesting as well. I think it's probably one of the most important questions that we don't like asking. I remember when I was dating a certain girl, she's like, "Oh, why do you always talk about the past?" I'm like, "Yo, if you know what to talk about the past, is when you talk about the past, you can know where you're going." Like, people who have a certain past, like if you knew a man was a cheater in his past, more than likely he might end up being the one who's a cheater again. So you have to proceed with precaution. Now you know his past, you got to proceed with precaution. Don't just jump in with 2 feet. So I think it's very important that couples necessarily, or people who are getting to that stage, always do get into a habit of just being able to speak to each other about, in the beginning, Oh, like, what was your dating history like? Okay, you date this person, boom, boom. You don't even know if he or she dated your friend. You don't even know that, bro. But when you have that conversation, it will unearth those kind of things. Be like, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. So you like this, you like that. Okay, cool, 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 cool. And that's how you get to know somebody. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It also allows you as well to be able to see red flags and see that, obviously, look, like I said, if someone's a cheater, that's probably she could be a red flag for you. Like, yeah, someone's a cheater in the past. They cheated on the last 5 girlfriends. Don't know if I want that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to suss that. And that's why it's important to know the dating history and know where you're going to go forward. Also, when you learn the dating history, you learn the mannerisms, the weaknesses, the strengths, the opportunities, the threats that they have within their core being. And
Wow. How do you know you're ready for a commitment?
I've dated myself in those 10 years.
This is getting a little weird now, okay? Go.
it also allows you, you know what, just being able to, you know, see red flags ahead of time, and, you know, it allows you to pre-plan. You're able to see the strengths and weaknesses, opportunity and threats of that individual, and it allows you to really, like, ahead of time be like, okay, cool, I know you're weak in this area, I can support you in this area, I'm weak in this area, support me in this area, I know what to do if anything situation arises, because I know what you've done in the past, you know what I'm saying? I know that, okay, certain things trigger you, I'm not going to do it, or certain things trigger me, you're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, rather than waiting to get to that point where it's exploded, and now you've got to explain yourself. It's a bit late. It gets you to be able to see what that person's learned from the past. When you see people talking about their past, it should be able to give you a reflective summary and say, look, that was, you know what, in the past, you know, I used to be a bit of a cheater, and do you know what? Do you know what I learned? I learned that it's not a good look. I learned that the hard way, blah, 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 blah. These are the steps that I took from here, boom, boom, boom. This can show you that somebody is actually on a journey and they're actually transforming. And do you know what? Fam, I know that what I did in the past was wrong. People who don't acknowledge that they've done wrong in the past sometimes, yeah, when they've done wrong, are dangerous people. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they're always willing to put the blame on someone else. Just saying.
My name is Deanna. I'm 30 years old, and I'm an operations manager. My last relationship does have something to do with why I've been single for the last 10 years. Both he and I...
we met, obviously, Donna as well, 30 years old. Sorry, not 30 years old. Yeah, Donna, 30 years old. You know, she's been single for 10 years, which means since 20. And I found that quite interesting because, you know what, to be single for that amount of time and through the most important young years of your life is some dedication. That potentially could say that, obviously, what's she doing that no one's dating her? Or two, it could be the case of the fact that God just wanted her to wait. We don't know. What we do know is that she's on the show. And what we do know is that she's had painful experiences, like she said, and that made her put up the walls up. And I've always said this, anybody who puts up a major wall, the most people who are jumping over that fence are dogs, not men. The reason why is because, bruv, the dogs love to jump. Dogs love to climb over stuff. Dogs like to get into compounds. Like, do you know what I'm saying? They like that kind of stuff. And so you have to deep it that, look, do you know what? Boom, like... It is what it is, man.
At 2 degrees, I've bought my own house. At one point in time, I had 2 cars. I'm very into the church. That's a big part of who I am. Now that I've forgiven myself for my past, I've gotten better with letting my guard down and letting people...
Like, you know, the black couples, they seem like they've got their stuff in order. It's really weird. Before everybody else, they've got their stuff in order. Like, you know what I'm saying? Both of them got houses, both of them are working hard. You know what I'm saying? Both of them live in nice areas. Like, looks like, bruv, like... To be honest, like, I'm happy. I'm happy to see this black kind of love. You know what I'm saying? I want to see it grow, baby. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to see it grow, baby. So yeah, Donna for me is a cool girl. It'll be interesting to see how she fits in, how she's gonna cope with the next 10, with, you know, being in a relationship after 10 years. Is there rustiness? Is there insecurity there? We have to wait and see. Do you know what I'm saying?
Prefer someone with a butt, with a booty.
If he has bad teeth, I don't want to put my tongue in his mouth. I like them really fit in good shape or just dad bod, but nothing like...
Attributes. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a bum person. You know what I'm saying? I like to see the bumper. I mean, I like to see the curve. I like to see that back, man. Yeah, I like to see that back. You know what I'm saying? So physical attributes. I mean, listen. You shouldn't make a decision about a partner solely based on that physical attributes. But hell, listen, we got 2 eyes for a reason. I'm going to use my eyes. You look fit. I want you. The back of is looking mud. Alright, fam, yeah, I'm interested because the back's mad, and I want to find out whether you're really about Jesus. I don't know. But yes, it's the first thing that probably we're all going to see. Nobody sees everybody's personality first. We see the physical frame of that individual. Then we get to know. Do you get what I'm saying?
Many people have ultimately silly physical deal breakers that have nothing to do with remaining happy over a lifelong marriage. As experts, we're focused on...
If the girl didn't have a back, would I be pressured? Or she didn't have, or she wore makeup? Because I'm a person that don't like makeup, I don't like it. If she wore makeup, would that be a problem for me? And I'm like, not necessarily. It's not really a deal breaker in terms of physical attributes. Do you know what I'm saying? If she didn't have a back, is that a physical attribute? Not really, not potentially. Depending on what, depends on what kind of, it doesn't depend on anything. It is what it is.
As experts, we're focused on this being married at first sight, not let's have a fling at first sight. So we're more interested in matching people who have shared core values. Of course, if they're attracted to each other, that's an added bonus.
I'm 6'9", so it would be kind of an awkward.
They mentioned as well, the experts mentioned, okay, look, if they're attracted to each other, that's an added bonus. Listen, it's not an added bonus. I need to be attracted to you. I'm sorry. I'm not here to be blindfolded. I'm here because I like the look of a girl and I want to talk to her. I want to get to know, to see that beauty is matching the brains. Simple. I don't think there's anyone who out here, there is some people out there that will love somebody before they fall in love with them look-wise, or they never fall in love with them look-wise. I don't know how to do that, to be honest. I love my body. You know what I'm saying? I love my body. I love my face.
In Latin America for the past 7 years playing basketball. It's been an adventure, it's been fun, but it's also been difficult just traveling so much. And being months at a time there and then coming back and being a couple months in Charlotte, it's tough on any relationship.
Obviously now, and the last person obviously they did for was Matt. Matt 31 is a basketball player, loves it. And you know what, I thought to myself, at least he's played out his career. He's played it out, he knows what he's going to want now, innit? Because he's older. He's done the whole shebang of basketball as a sportsman, and now he's ready to settle down. I feel like that's the most genuine way that a lot of us guys could probably do it, because it means that you've taken the one pressure off, I guess, for a certain point of life, which is trying to find a bae, while also trying to as well, achieve your dreams. It's not easy to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? To be selfless with somebody else, but yet trying to be selfish by completing your own dreams. Not easy to do. So I was happy that Matt, said, look, I'm 31 now, I'm looking to, to potentially settle down. I'm looking to be in Charlotte.
Deal breakers. Someone who doesn't want children, deal breaker for sure.
Just people being out and out stupid.
Someone who's not family oriented, picky eaters probably is another deal breaker.
So what do you mean picky eaters?
What are deal breakers? They mentioned about deal breakers. Deal breakers are things that, you definitely cannot proceed a relationship with. And I feel like we all should have them, because for instance, my deal breaker is that she has to be a Christian. If you're not a Christian, if you're not a born-again Christian, then, minor, minor is a deal breaker.
It's another deal breaker. So what do you mean picky eaters? Like, if you don't like tomatoes, that's weird. You have to like tomatoes. Tomatoes are like the fruit of the world.
What is your biggest fear?
What is it?
It's important to understand as well, like, with deal breakers, you know what, fam? Sometimes we can break our own deals. Deal breaker. And the reason why is because somebody fits everything else, but this little deal breaker, which is potentially not a deal, and you know what, any deal breaker, more than likely, is probably not a deal breaker that breaks, because a deal breaker should be something that reminds you, hey, look, don't go down this path. Do you know what I'm saying? Those are deal breakers.
The couple I would like to fight for, unequivocally, is Iris and Keith. Awesome.
Yeah.
I think they really see the world in the same way. Iris works in the nonprofit world as a youth program coordinator. And here's Keith, who is a mentor basketball coach. He wants to help others. I think there's a lot of capacity to love in these two.
I'm a little concerned.
So yeah, then they mentioned that we've got Keith again. He's partnered up with, I believe, Iris. And one of the major concerns about their relationship was the fact that, you know what, Iris is a virgin, she doesn't have sex, he's packing magnums. Do you know what I mean? Like, can this really work? I mean, will they be able to, not abstain, but would they be able to be able to match each other's energy? Like, because she's going to be new at this. And you don't know how she's going to react. This is the first time she's going to have sex with somebody. How she's going to react to, her officially breaking her virginity. How she's going to react in terms of the pain and stuff like that. Will she have pain? I don't know. We'll just see. But, is she going to be able to handle that expectation? Is she going to be okay with that level of sex that potentially maybe he may be at? We have to wait and find out. You know what I'm saying? But I love the fact that, Keith was passionate about his job, mentoring kids growing up. He mentions patience is his best weapon. He's seen his parents be married for 29 years. That kind of stuff is good, man. So, and it makes you realize, look, you know what? Seeing positive role models like your mum and dad being married is such a blessing, because it creates a narrative in your head of how you feel like a marriage should go. You know, and you're less willing to let the first one or first marriage disappear because it is your first rodeo. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I really enjoy what I do for a living. I've got great hobbies. I've got good friends.
One thing is missing is that kind of companionship and that person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. I'm looking for somebody that's very strong-willed, ambitious. She has a lot of goals. She's attractive. She's charismatic. She's a career, has career ambition, holds herself well, is caring, supportive.
You meet. You know what I'm saying? So that was interesting. Jamie as well was another interesting character, 35. Very, very picky. And I guess super critical, and that for me is telling, because he's the only one that got a really big negative review. And I feel like, because, do you know what, bro, they're just not sure how he's gonna react with a girl. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and I think Pastor was a bit concerned, even his face, when later on they mentioned about the couples. He was not happy with the Jamie one. You know, I mean, he's like, I hope the Jamie guy doesn't like break this girl's heart. Do you know what I mean?
And quirky. I think he's solid but wants a bigger life. They both seem to be in the same class position, both in terms of how they live now and how they want to live in the future. I see a lot in this couple.
Yeah, I think they definitely share the same core values. But I'm hoping that he's not too picky and just too particular for her. Her own fear was that she would be annoying, and I don't want him to find her that way.
I do.
Elizabeth and Jamie as a couple, they mentioned about the positive energy that Elizabeth and Jamie would bring, and their attraction, the same class, same values. The negative was his pickiness, and her princessness is going to cause fire. They won't have time to fix it, and basically it'll be the bird in the cage. Yeah, I feel like her energy that she's going to bring, Elizabeth, may potentially piss off Jamie, and I feel like Jamie may just try to suppress her from being that way.
Anna and Greg will make a great couple also.
I think the big thing is how much they each want a godly person. They would not want to be with anyone who didn't put God at the center of their life.
Yeah, and I think that they're going to find each other attractive. I think they're
Was Donna and Greg. They said very little about these two, and I think the reason why they said very little about these two is because they are a great match. They both love Jesus. They both love God. They both come at the center of things. Well, simple things. The only negative they really put there is that, you know, Donna hadn't dated for 10 years, but I believe, as she stated, she was molding herself right for the right husband. I've got high hopes for these two. I want to see these two fly. I want to see them fly away. Yeah. Fly away, fly away. And then we got Amber and Matt. I must confess, obviously, you know, Amber and Matt, I think they're going to be a cute couple.
Amber and Matt. I'm very enthusiastic about this couple. Now, I know there's one observable difference.
Really?
Yes.
What is that?
Well, he's 6'9".
Yeah.
She is 5'2". But I asked him about this, and he said, well, I did have a year-long relationship.
Problems. The problems might arise from the fact that he may get a job back in basketball rather than actually being in Charlottesville with his friend's company. So that could be a major sticky point. I just feel like, you know what, it's a good start. I feel like the couples are evenly matched. I feel like they've got good people involved. Can't wait for episode 2. I feel like I said, Donna and Greg are going to be my favourite couple. But I feel like, you know what, like the right people have pretty much been chosen.
Are going to be married at first sight?
Oh, wow. Are you serious?
Because you are going to be married at first sight. Shut up. You are going to marry a stranger. Oh my God. Holy Oh, can I say that? Yay! Oh my God, woo! To love and a forever marriage. How about that?
What I did pick up was Jamie and Elizabeth's reactions when they got told about Married at First Sight. They just seemed very fake, both of them. So Jamie was like, oh wow, but there was no real emotion. And Elizabeth was actually like, oh my God, yeah, da 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 da. But it just sounds so fake as she was clinking a glass of. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how you lot feel. You ain't got the minerals, baby. I'm going to put questions down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video. Let's get into the season. Can't wait for season 2. Season 2. Can't wait for episode 2. More love, more fire. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked and loaded. Agege, are you mad? You mad? You lead. Boom.